The Longest Whale Song is a book by Jacqueline Wilson, of course, that I thought I'd kind of enjoy a little bit but wouldn't love, because I assumed from the title that it would be a lot more about whales than it is. But actually, it's a minor subplot in the sense that it's not mentioned that much, but it plays a really pivotal role in the development of the narrative. And actually, once I did read it, I loved it. I should point out my thoughts are being presented as a 29-year-old. I grew up reading Jacqueline Wilson from about the age of 8. So I love basically everything she does, apart from the Hetty Feather books. Not a fan. But The Longest Whale Song is one that I actually really liked and thought was quite sweet. This was released in 2010. I definitely didn't read it straight away at the time. But when I did get around to reading it, I was really, really pleasantly surprised. The subject matter it deals with is a little bit darker than some of her novels. It's not just about, problems at school or anything. This is about a young girl called Ella, and her mother is in a coma. Her mother has just given birth to a baby boy called Samson, Ella's half-brother, and, there's a complication. Her mother goes into a coma. Jacqueline Wilson obviously doesn't go into too much detail medically, because there's no need, but I think it explains quite well and quite delicately that there was a complication, not the baby's fault, don't hate the brother, and that her mother had to be put into a coma while her body tried to heal itself. And Ella decides to let her mother listen to whale music for one reason or another, and that's kind of where the title comes from. And obviously that plays an important role, but the main thing is about Ella trying to cope with her mother being in hospital in a coma, not being able to communicate with her mother, bearing in mind for 9 months leading up to this, everything was changing anyway because she was getting a baby brother. Now Jack, her mother's husband, Ella's stepfather, has to raise this newborn baby and Ella while his wife is in hospital. Obviously, everything they know at home is completely thrown into absolute chaos. Ella's also facing problems at school, as of course you would expect. So it's all about finding ways for Ella to cope with these issues. It doesn't say, don't worry, your mother will get better and the father's going to do a great job at raising you. Whether or not those things happen, obviously I'm not going to say. But it's not about telling Ella that everything will be okay from the get-go. It's about giving her coping mechanisms and allowing her to have the time she needs to, grieve this situation, because life as she knew it has gone, at least for the moment. And I think the character's really likeable. She's quite well developed, not the most intricate of Jacqueline Wilson's characters. I could never see there being like a sequel to this or anything, and that's not something that I'd advocate. It's not, she's not that interesting as a character. But, I think I like it. Her relationship with Jack is, it's not completely strained like some Jacqueline Wilson characters are with step-parents, but, obviously she wants her mother more than anybody. It's an interesting story. It's quite an in-depth narrative with a lot going for it. But it's still, kind of easy to read for the 9 to 12 bracket. It's a lot better than I expected, and I really like it. Not my favourite Jacqueline Wilson book, because there are some that I just love with all my heart. But actually, it is. The Longest Whale Song is pretty great.